Hey guys, welcome back to another Cole Culture automotive video. I'm Blake Cole. This is my brother Tommy Cole, and today we're bringing you our top 10 things we hate about the Powerboost. So I should say there's very little things we hate. If any car in the world has only 10 things that you dislike about it, it's probably a pretty decent vehicle. We were splitting hairs a little bit on this list. We both love the crap out of this truck, but these are just some things that we found either annoying or felt like Ford was cutting corners on, or just after owning it for a little bit now have found out that it was a little bit more.
Yeah, most of the things on here we had to kind of scurry around to find, which is great. If you have a vehicle and you're having to rummage around to try to find stuff you don't like about it, I think you're winning right there. These are just the things that bother me a little bit. Like he said, Ford cut corners on certain things, and I feel like when you're paying this amount of money for a vehicle, there should be no cutting corners, especially when there's corners cut from 21 to 22 that we weren't alerted about until I received the vehicle. We'll just get right into it. Coming in at number 10 is going to be the lights in the bed. That came standard on the 21s, but not the 22.
Yeah, so actually if you go on Ford's website, it says it's standard with Lariats, Platinums, Raptors, and King Ranch Unlimiteds. It says it comes with those, but really what it means is it gives you the ability to get the new bed utility package, which gives you everything that came standard on 21. To me, it's like a huge money grab, and it's really greedy and puts honestly a bad taste in my mouth, because it's like, why would you do that? Why would you give us something basically, you know, for free? Because the price of the truck didn't go down $600, you know, because these features didn't come standard. And now to throw that in our face as a package, maybe for you guys it's different, because if you order a 22 or you order a 23, you kind of know what you're getting now, if nothing else, because we've told you. But we didn't know. They told us, you know, it's going to be copy and paste 21.
Well, yeah, and I know Blake has explained that before. We had ordered 21s. His was late August. Mine was early September. We ordered the 21s on Halloween day, actually. We were informed that they weren't going to do the 21s anymore. We got pushed to a 22. Great. That's awesome. That means one day down the road when I want to resell my vehicle, I got one more year on it. That's great. That's going to help me on the resale value. But we weren't told that it wasn't going to have some of the things that the 21 had. And that's one of the things that bothered me.
It's a big issue. It's more of something that's not really needed, and that's why it's at number 10.
I didn't even notice it until actually he was looking in the back of my bed and he's like, hey, where's your bed lighting? So it isn't such a huge deal, but it is something I do feel like Ford cheaped out on, and that's why it's on this list. So coming in at number 9 is going to be something Blake has already talked about a recent video, and that's going to be the key fob. My key fob should not be the same as my $40,000 XLT Explorer. I was expecting something a little bit more fancy, and I didn't get it. It's the same exact key fob. I wanted to say F-150. Give me something.
Here's my problem with this, guys, and this is all car brands right now are kind of doing this, but Ford's really annoying me with it, because the F-150 is the most sold vehicle to ever exist, ever. And like, yeah, the vast majority of those are fleet sales and blah, blah, blah. I get it. But here's the thing. This isn't a fleet truck. I mean, it's white, but it's a $65,000 truck. When you're paying that much, I mean, that's what a Raptor was not even 5 years ago. It doesn't have to be custom, but if it just says F-150 on the back and like a chrome or something nicer like that, it would make us feel so much more special as high-level F-150 owners. You know, and Ford does this with the Mustang, the back of them don't say Mustang, but yet you get Raptor on the back of the Raptor key and you get Bronco on the back of the Bronco key. It kind of shows you where Ford's putting their eggs right now.
Well, something so little that they could have changed that wouldn't have cost them much money would have made me as a consumer feel so much better and so much more special having this special key. I know to some people it might not be a big deal, but come on, again, it's a $60,000 plus truck.
We're not saying that Ford's functionality of the key is bad. We're just saying that the presentation should be upscaled a little.
Give us more, give us more. All right, so coming in at number 8, it's gonna be something that, again, it might not affect everybody. This is what we hate or dislike about this truck. It's gonna be the room in the back seat. So Blake being 6'5", me being 6'4", we get in the back seat and we can't really fit back there. Again, giants aren't supposed to be in the back seat, but I will say, with my Ram 1500, there's a lot more room in the back seat, and that's something that I do dislike about this vehicle.
Yeah, so that's a really good comparison actually, because in the Ram's front seat, and especially in the driver position, it's a bit tighter for us, but you got more room in the back seat. So that's not the biggest deal in the world for us necessarily, unless Tommy's driving me somewhere and I'm in his backseat, or I'm driving his somewhere and he's in my backseat. I'm sure it won't be a problem for a lot of you. You know, why aren't we getting like I believe Ram has a Max, a Crew Cab Max or something like that. You know, that option would be nice in this price point. I understand why it's not there, because They're trying to solidify the wheelbase and the bed length. I understand. You know, it's something that Ford's kind of behind on.
All right, guys. So coming in at number 7, again, this is something Blake already touched on in one of his previous videos. I'm comparing, again, we just compared to the Ram. I'm gonna compare us to the Tundra now. I feel like this vehicle kills the Tundra, and it does kill the Ram 1500 as well, but it's gonna be the back window. I'm not a fan of it. The functionality is great. Siding, it's great. It works great, but I expect more.
Having this and all these huge windows, having that full open air experience, especially off-roading or like even just driving down like the coast of California type of thing, that would be really nice to have. And it's something that, you know, Ford kind of missed the mark on.
All right, guys, so coming to number 6, and there's something that was, to me, was very underwhelming. I expected a lot more in the vehicle when I received it. Blake had a Ranger. He had way more options with this. It's gonna be the ambient lighting.
This kind of blows me away because I believe even on the 21s and in some models in Canada and I believe the Philippines, because the Philippines are just getting F-150s, they're getting the Power Stroke over there, they're able to change the color of their ambient lighting. For some reason, it seems to be a little bit brighter, and it's put in separate areas that we don't have in this new 2022 US model. You have that weird kind of turquoise green color that is the same backlighting button as all your buttons in the vehicle, which is nice that they match. But in my Ranger, I was able to change those colors. I was completely able to change them. They're full RGB. And if this really bugged us, we could just go out and get an RGB kit and fix it ourselves. But at this price point, and especially when my Ranger had it, which was what, $25,000 less than this, my Ranger Lariat. I don't know, guys. It just feels again like they cut a corner here, and for some reason just didn't give us RGB when they easily could have.
All right, guys. So coming in at number 5, and this is something that easily could have moved up on my list a little bit more if I wasn't able to customize it so easily. But when I received my vehicle, I looked around the vehicle, did my inspection. Beautiful truck. The one thing that bothers me almost the most on this vehicle, on the Lariat, is gonna be the grill.
The grill is that unpainted silver plastic that Ford is kind of known for at this point. It just feels cheap that a Lariat has that grill. It's not the worst looking grill out of the bunch, but I really like the STX grill, which you're able to get on an XL. So why this truck didn't have like a blackout package, or why it didn't have something along that lines to paint that grill, at least as an option, really blows my mind, and it makes the truck look sort of cheap.
All right, guys, so coming in at number 4, and this is something Blake got on his truck, and I wanted it on my truck. I fully expected to get it on my truck until I was informed the Powerboost cannot come with a 36-gallon tank, but only a 30-gallon tank.
So the reason it cannot come with a 36-gallon tank is, again, because of that battery. So there's the trade-off there. Although I wish Ford could have engineered it in a way. They could have made a frame difference, the same that they made a frame modification to the Raptor 37 package, where they could allow the room for a 36 tank and that battery. I mean, people want this truck for the economy of it, but my truck has a 706 mile range, and I believe your truck has like a 630 or 635?
540.
540 range. So there you go. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna have to pay like $250 at the gas pump. He won't have to pay that.
Yeah, so just to inform you guys, I filled up for the first time yesterday. I've had the truck for 2.5 weeks. I do drive it often in the city, so I filled it up. Here in California, it cost me $143 to fill up my 30-gallon tank. Let us know how much it costs to fill up your Powerboost where you are. I know you're not liking our numbers, and I know you're happy with where you are. With the Powerboost, there's a lot of electric driving. For instance, yesterday, I wanted to take my tank all the way down so I could see exactly how much it costs to fill up. I was riding on 1 mile for about 3.5 miles just because electric driving allowed me to do that. And you're not going to get that with the other vehicles. That's where the Powerboost is going to make up for that gas tank.
We don't really recommend that you do that, but for the sake of science, we did it for you.
All right, guys, so coming in at number 3, this is something that could be taken off the vehicle. I don't feel like we should have to take it off the vehicle. It bothers the crap out of me. I feel like I'm driving in a golf cart, but it's a $65,000 truck. It's going to be that backup sound.
It's really freaking dorky. I mean, my God, it's just so odd. I understand why it's there. I really do. When you're in a parking lot, we are used to hearing vehicles. You know, we have like Stater Brothers and Vons and stuff around us. Little kid might stop if he hears the vehicle's on. You can't hear if this vehicle's on because it only goes in reverse in electric mode. So I understand why it's there, and I understand it's a big safety feature. But because of that, it almost makes it more frustrating because there are options to take it off, but to take it off, you're actually throwing a really big risk by doing so.
Well, and you have this big manly truck, right? I'm backing up. I don't expect it to sound like a little golf cart backing up. Yeah. And here's the only reason I disagree with Blake on this. I don't believe the Tesla has that backup noise, and it's a lot more quiet than this. So I don't see why they put that on here. I don't like it. You guys can take it off, We haven't taken off yet. We got to look into it. You have to pay for a device, I believe.
Yeah, guys, we shouldn't have to pay for a wiring harness adapter to turn it off. I wish that while we put it in an off-road drive mode, that it would just turn it off automatically, and maybe we can keep that mode on while we're driving around town. Sort of similar to like the cylinder deactivation in the V8. I think that would at least kind of appease me a little bit.
Or maybe if we kick it into sport mode, because in sport mode, it's never going to go into electric driving mode for the most part.
True,
so
too.
You're going to hear it, and you're going to hear, it's not a V8, but you do hear the exhaust still.
Yeah, when the engine's on, it sounds identical to the 3.5.
So there's no need for that. You should have the option to take it off, or if it's in sport, it should come off. All right, guys, so coming in at number 2 is going to be everything that Ford cheaped out on this vehicle, or from 21 to 22. These are the things that bother us.
God, guys, I have a whole video. It's a short one dedicated to this. Go through the comments. People commented on things that they noticed that were missing that I didn't catch. But just to go through a few of them, we have the display on our climate control knobs is now put on the Sync 4 system instead of on the knob. Feels like they cheaped out on that. We have the license plate lights that were changed to like nasty old looking yellow lights, when before they were a more premium LED. You have your glove box light that's no longer there. Oh, and then really the other big one is the bed lighting, which we already talked about earlier on. You can get it in a package now, but before, again, it's something they cheaped out on, not giving it to us directly straight to the Lariat as a standard. All right, guys, so we got a couple honorable mentions here that we're just gonna rapid fire off, see what you guys think about them. This is your moment. If we missed anything in this video, let us know what we missed that you hate about your 2021-2022 Powerboost. And guess what our number 1 is before we say it. I'm interested to see what you guys will say.
So one of the first honorable mentions, and the only reason it's on the honorable mention list and not actually on the list, is because we haven't had our own experience with it, so we can't speak on it too much, but we do look at the comments, we see what people are saying. Blake's on Reddit, he looks at the forums and whatnot. So we know this has been an issue. It's going to be the B&O Unleashed system, and we have the B&O in here. It sounds very clear, very smooth, but we have heard some problems with the rattling in the B&O Unleashed.
Yeah, so guys, they say, you know, this is secondhand for us, but we'll pass it on, is that the headliner will actually rattle, your door panels will rattle with it. We don't know why this is happening. We haven't experienced it. That's why it didn't make the list. If we had it on one of our trucks and had experienced it, maybe it would have made it on here. But let us know your experience with it, because a lot of people were saying it's really kind of crappy.
Off of hearsay, I would say save you guys some money and just go with the regular B&O system.
Alrighty, guys. Hope you got your guesses in, because it is now time for our number 1 hated thing on this piece of crap truck that is just not worth it. Don't buy one.
Yeah, right.
No, of course not, guys. Our number 1 complaint is gonna be...
The number 1 complaint that I have after owning this vehicle is gonna be the fact that you can't modify it as much as you'd want. Maybe you can later down the road, but 21s, they still can't modify their Powerboost as much as I'd want them to modify the Powerboost. You go V8, you go the EcoBoost, you're gonna be able to modify your truck a lot more than this one. As it is right now, I know we promised that this is gonna have an exhaust on it. We're having a hard time finding that exhaust. The intake, we had to put the intake for the 3.5. It didn't say Powerboost. I called Roush myself and they assured me it would still fit. But those are just a few things that we're having a problem with modifying this vehicle.
Yeah, guys, so something that a lot of people have asked me actually in the comments is, hey Blake, why did you get the V8 instead of the Powerboost if you love it so much? If you think it's so great, why didn't you get it? Well, that's a whole other video on itself, but for the sake of this, it's because you can't modify the Powerboost the same as you can a V8. It's sort of the thing with Tesla, right? You can't modify a Tesla the same as you can a Subaru, but your Tesla does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Why would you need to modify it? I think Ford had that same idea and same approach with the Powerboost. The problem is, it's a truck, guys. It's not some car, it is a truck. And part of that experience is modifying it. Part of putting your thumbprint and making it unique is modifying it. And having the trouble that we've been having is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand why the exhaust is different. If you understand why the exhaust is different, please explain it to me.
Well, I'm sure you guys have seen our Lightning versus Powerboost video. And one of the problems that we have with the Lightning is the fact that you cannot modify it to be you, to your personality. Yeah. I do have the Roush intake in here right now, but I'm having a little bit of problems finding. I want to get a blow-off valve. I want to get the exhaust. I want to get a lot of things done to my truck to make it more me and personalize it to myself. But we're having that problem. So right now, the difference between this and the Lightning,
it's not that big a gap as we thought it would be. Alrighty, guys, that's our list of the things that we hate. Obviously, hate is a strong word, and obviously everybody does this about vehicles. We just are kind of getting in on the action here and letting you know our pet peeves about it. We love the truck. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. If you made it to this point in the video, just subscribe. It's full free, and if it's full free, it's full me, and it should be for you too. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.